Hello everyone, this is Ashish Sunny from Innovate Yourself. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am back with another session on Rasa 2.0. Like in the previous session, I have already shown you that how you can use the fallback policy so that you can handle the unknown request coming from the user, right? So this is all that we have covered. Similarly, in today's session, I'm going to show you that how you can use the chit chat and the FAQ part, so that if in case you already have some set of questions with you and you want that to be called every time whenever you will ask the similar kind of a question, then your bot should be able to reply you as per that. Because if in case, let's say, if you already have made one bot with you, in that case there you must have seen if any of your chatbot enters some conversation, there your bot is actually not able to come out of the conversation, or let's say your bot is actually not able to handle the new question that will be asked on the spot, right? So this is all that we will be covering in today's session, so that you can at least get the reply for those questions which you will be asking immediately, or let's say at any certain point, right? So this is all that we will be covering in today's session. Now let's get started and let's see how you can use the chit chat and FAQ part. Alright, so you can see on your screen that there is a project for your Rasa chatbot which we have created in the last few videos, right? So this is all about that. In that we have already added so many features like fallback and your form slots, entity extraction and everything. We have done all of the things in the previous session. If you haven't gone through that, you can get the link on the top of this video, then you can go to that, right? And now let's move ahead, and the next step that we have to do today is to add the chit chat part, right? And that chit chat part is coming under this rule policy, right? So this is coming under rule policy. So in the configuration file you must add this part. It's not like that you can add the rule policy only for the forms, but you can also add it for the chit chat part as well. So in our case also we have to use the chit chat, so that's why I have to add this rule policy under the policy section, right? So this is what I have done over here. Similarly, you can see over here that there are different configurations that are already set, or let's say these are the configuration which we already have while you will create an initial project for your Rasa chatbot. So this is all that I'm having in here, right? And apart from the basic one, I have also added the fallback part, right? So let's not discuss about that. And now one more thing, like these are all the pipelines which you can see in here, right? And in there you can see there is one option, or let's say there is one pipeline which is named as response selector. So this one is basically for getting the solution. Let's say this one is basically for getting the output for the chit chat or FAQ type of a questions, right? So if in case you want to get all the things, or let's say if you want to get for both of the things, let's say chit chat and the FAQ part, then you just leave it like this only. But if in case you want to get the output separately, and in case you want to write the pipeline for your response selector separately for your chit chat and the FAQ part, in that case you can add it. And for that you just have to type retrieval intent, retrieval underscore intent, and just after that just mention whether it's a chit chat or it's a FAQ, right? So this is how you can type it. So like in my case I'm talking about chit chat, so that's why I have mentioned chit chat. But if in case you want to work for FAQ, you can simply type FAQ, right? So this is how we can update the configuration for your chatbot in case you want to use the FAQ and the chit chat part, right? But in my case I don't want to use any of it, right? Because it doesn't matter in my case, and I don't have to do any specific thing for that, right? So that's why I'm not mentioning it, but let it be now, right? Now after that, now what I have to do is I just have to ask, or I just have to mention few questions, so that can be a part of your chit chat, and that can be called anytime whenever a user is going to ask you for that certain question, right? So this is all that I will be doing. And now after that, let's go to the NLU part, so that I can add few intents for that, so that I can accordingly get the response for it, right? So now just mention the data over here. So you can see I have added two intents. So first one is chit chat slash ask underscore name. If in case you want to ask the name, so this is how we have to write the intent name over here. Similarly, the second one is chit chat slash ask underscore weather. So this one is also a part of a chit chat, and based on that you have to ask this thing like ask underscore name and ask underscore weather. So these are few examples for that. And one more thing, and that is a very good thing that you will really like, right? And now you can see I have written chit chat slash ask underscore weather, chit chat slash ask underscore name. So I have mentioned all of this, right? Now when you're going to add this intent inside the domain, what you have to do, you only have to type chit chat. That's it. You don't have to write the complete thing like chit chat slash ask underscore name or chit chat slash ask underscore weather. You don't have to write anything, just because it is a part of a chit chat. So that's why you only have to mention the chit chat over here, right? So this is how I have added this part, and also I'm done with this part. And as I said, in this video I'm going to give you an example for the chit chat part only, so that's why I'm typing like this. But if in case you want to do the FAQ part or something, then in that case you have to write the intents for that as well, right? So in my case I'm using chit chat, and I will be showing it to you. And after that, the next thing is you have to add the rule policy for that. But before adding the rule policy, let's go to the domain file again, and let's add the response for it, so that whenever I'm going to ask for the name or whenever I'm going to ask for the weather, at that time what it should reply with, right? So let me just add them. Alright, so can you see, like, here are the answers, or let's say here are the responses for your questions related to the chit chat part, and accordingly here are some links which will also be shown to you, right? So this is how, and this is what we are doing in here. So first one is for the name, and the second one is for the weather part. And in both the cases you can see I have mentioned two things, like the first response is with the image part, and the second response is directly a simple text. So this is how we are getting it, and I hope you already know about this part. If in case you have two different text, or let's say two different responses for a single response, in that case it will pick any random response out of all of it, right? So if in case, let's say first time it will pick this one, next time it will pick this one, or maybe for the third time also it will pick the same thing. So it's like it is going to pick your response randomly, right? So that is why I have mentioned two different responses, right? So this is how you can do it. So this is all about the responses, and now let's just add the rules part for it, right? So now go to the rules.yml and add the rule policy for it, right? So let me just add it here. Okay, so you can see here I have added a rule for your chit chat part, and you can see like in the case of intent you only have to mention chit chat. You don't have to write the complete message, like, or let's say the complete name for it, which is chit chat slash ask underscore name or ask underscore weather. You don't have to type the complete one, you only have to type chit chat, and in this way your complete rule is ready, right? And in the response also you can see utter underscore chit chat, and with respect to this part you have also seen over here that you are adding slash ask underscore name, but you don't have to add that either. So this is how you can easily manage the chit chat part and also the FAQ part, and in this way you're going to get your response very easily and very quickly, right? So this is all about this part, and I think now we have added all the things very clearly and properly. Now we can move ahead and we can train the model and we can test that part, right? So let me just train it and let's test it. So just go in here, and I'm going to add a single line over here for both the things, for training and for testing it, right? And the first one is to train the model, and the second one is to run your Rasa shell in the debug mode, right? So this is what I'm doing, and also before running it, just make sure you have your environment activated, right? So that you can just talk to your bot. So just run it. Alright, so you can see now your bottle is trained, and now you can talk to your bot. Now let's say hi, any message, right? So you can see it is giving you the reply like, hey, how are you? And now you can see like we are inside a conversation. Let's say we are following a story as per this. Like you can see, we are inside any of the story. It can be anything, right? Because the initial for all of them are same, like greed, and based on that you will get the response, right? So this is what we are doing. And now just after that, if in case I will type something else, you may have seen sometimes like it is not going to respond you properly, right? So this problem can be solved with the chit chat part, and this is what I'm going to do now. And for that you can see like I have added two intents. So first one is for asking the name, and second one is for the weather part, right? So in this case I can do that part. Now let me just check for the weather. Let's say I'm typing this one only. Let's paste it. So you can see I'm not sure of whole week, but I can see the sun is out today, right? So this is how it is giving you the reply. And also, as I mentioned before, that here I have added two different responses for that, and based on that it is picking up any of the random value, right? Now let's do one thing. Let's try it again. Let's see whether I'm getting the same output or something else. Can you see? Before I get this output, and this time I'm getting this, right? So this is how I can get the output for that. And also, if in case I am asking the question again and again, it doesn't matter. It is not going to come out of the story, or let's say it is not going to give you the proper response for that. Doesn't matter. Whenever you're going to ask a question related to that, it is going to respond you with respect to the responses that you have added in the domain file. So this is how you can add the chit chat part, and you can ask it as many times as you want. So this is all about the chit chat part. In the same way you can do it for the FAQ part, and you can also get the response for it, right? And now that is it for today. I hope everything is clear to you, but still if you are facing any difficulties in this topic, then feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. And also, if you have liked this video, then do click on the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do click on the subscribe button so that you do not miss any videos from my channel. So till then, bye bye and happy learning.